Hello, welcome everyone to another episode of HBCU to Startup. I am really excited about this episode. We get to talk to Theo and Obatala, who are the creators of Clouds. So before we jump into talking about what Clouds is, can you guys give an introduction of yourself? We can start with you, Obatala.
All right. My name is Obatala Mawusi. I am a Oakland native. I'm a filmmaker. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard that, but the door just slammed loudly. Yeah, I'm a filmmaker. I'm 50% of the team for Clouds. I co-write with Theo, and then I'm a director, and we've just put them together for a while. I graduated from NYU, but I started at an HBCU, Bethune-Cookman College in Daytona Beach, Florida. And
did you really?
I did, and I transferred.
I did not know that.
Bam! Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about your experience a bit and why you transferred.
Okay.
Theo.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? I'm Theo Hollingsworth. I am the co-writer and producer of Clouds as well. I am a Howard alumni, and I currently work in tech right now, and I specialize in digital video. So I've worked at a couple of companies in online video for the past 5 years or so at this point. And yeah, this is my third year inside of the Bay Area now, working in tech and writing with my co-writer Obatala. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you so much, Adia, for having us.
Oh no. So, quick question. So, what is this Clouds about?
What is this Clouds about? So Clouds is a series, rather a concept for a series that Obatala and I have been developing for 2 years now. It started out really as just kind of like a way. Obatala and I really met. We were looking for some fun video stuff to do. We made a couple of like cool YouTube videos, and after that we were like, we really want to make like a long form series, but obviously we're not in mainstream television right now, so we wanted to kind of do it independently. We wanted to do something between a web series and a real television series, so we thought that it would be really cool if we scripted the series and went a little bit further than just pitching our pilot series to execs, but we wanted to go further and actually produce our pilot episode so we could give people as much of a tangible realization of what this show is about. So Obatala, I guess if you want to really kind of break down the storyline of Clouds.
Yeah. All right. So the premise for Clouds is our main character, Malcolm Gibson. He's a transplant. He moved out to Oakland a few years ago. He moved out with a girlfriend, and they've since got engaged. And the episode starts with that relationship ending. So it's this guy who's he's sort of been in the city for about a year and a half, but he's sort of new because now he has to learn the city through non-girlfriend channels. He has his best friend and cousin in the city, a guy named Johnson, who we definitely get to meet in a pilot episode and will help him build the app. And moving forward, the overall arc is these two guys, after hanging out, get the idea to build a dating app. And their dating app is special because it matches people's music preference. And they both have a semi-tech background. Malcolm himself is a software engineer who's done some coding and some developing in the past. Johnson works more on the design front. And so they've worked together. We find out in the show that they had another app that didn't really come to market, that they just sort of dropped the ball on. But really the show, from the tech side, it explores the dating side, and it explores the life of just being young and a millennial in Oakland at this time right now. So it's a really awesome show, and we really think everybody out there will like it. So check it out.
Cool. So we're going to try some live technology now. So we're going to try and stream a clip. Let's see how this works, Theo. Let's test out this Google Hangouts.
All right, yeah, we'll try it. Apologies if there's any type of lag. Let me just pull up scene. I'll do a screen share first. Picture lock. Hit share.
Uh-oh, we can see it.
Uh-oh. All right, so I'll go ahead and put this in full screen mode.
The question is, will the sound come through though?
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. You guys tell me. 1 second.
Yeah, we can hear it, but it's clearly being recorded through the computer microphone.
Okay.
So
We'll show a little bit of some visuals. You know, give you guys a taste, at least from a visual standpoint.
Hey, what's good on family? What's happening, man? Yeah, brother. I'm good to see you, bro. It's always good to see you. Yeah, man. What's going on? Shit, same shit, different day. You know how we do it. Hey, listen, man, this is my cousin Malcolm. This is D-Nash right here, man. What's going on, man? In the house. How you doing, man? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. This your cousin, his fiance, Malcolm, right? Yeah, that's me. Bro, it's all good with family. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome here. Thank you. We got Jameson in the building. Jameson gang. Actually, bro, he needs a lot more than that. So, you have fun. God bless. We got food here. We got girls here. We got the Jameson here. Have fun. Let's get it in. Enjoy. Let's go. Man, let's do it. We've been here. All right. Hello. Don't Snapchat me if you ain't gonna Snapchat me, you know what I'm saying?
All right. So that's a little snippet. Let me go ahead and exit full screen mode. Not sure how well that went, but yeah, that was it.
Hey, technology.
Yeah.
Testing out things.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys got to see some of it. So yeah, that was a little sample. As you could probably equate, it's a lighthearted comedy. You know, Obatala and I are both just huge comedic fans, and we wanted to show, you know,
we're hilarious.
Yeah, we're hilarious. We wanted to show the technology scene, and we wanted to debut Oakland at the same time, and we wanted to do it in a lighthearted way. So this is really our take on it. We think it's a fun comedy. You know, for the older crowd, it's definitely an adult comedy series, but you know, I think that it will encourage some folks and expose people to a side of technology that maybe isn't so often seen, and that is, like, you know, the people of color in technology, or you know, just not nerdy people in technology. There's just such an archetype about the types of people that can code, and how they kind of fit into this box, and we wanted to really show some people that don't fit into that mold.
Right, and I think that's a valid point, because when you look at, if you were to look at some of the comedies or shows that are out now about Silicon Valley, there's Silicon Valley. So if you have this in contrast to Silicon Valley, this definitely adds another perspective and another voice, especially showing you know, something that isn't negative from, you know, underrepresented perspective, because the only stories that we hear right now coming out of Silicon Valley that have underrepresented stories or underrepresented people are like negative stories. So that being said, how did you guys come up with the storyline? How did you base it? Like, what are you using for inspiration?
Go, Obatala.
Like they say, life is stranger than fiction. So a lot of the stories are just coming from our own personal lives. Some of the stories, like, we write in situations with women or dating the characters go through, resemble, you know, mistakes or successes that Theo and I have had in the past. Really, we just sat down and we wanted to when we thought of a story, just sort of, to get it moving. Like, we wanted to build these characters and know who they really were, so we created this story. And it was just really done more so out of, like, who are we trying to represent, And I think that became, we're trying to represent people more so of our generation, our age, in Oakland, in the world we see. So while there's a lot of creativity in the way we shape the stories and build the characters, the original archetype for the story and the characters is really just played a lot of our personal lives.
So, Theo, you mentioned that right now, currently, this is definitely a project that you guys are working on, but you work for a startup right now. What was your experience moving? You're not from here originally. What was your experience moving out here and landing a role at a startup?
My experience today has been really great. So I moved from Washington, D.C. I spent a couple of years in the D.C. area after school. I graduated in 2009. And really, the catalyst for me moving out here at the time was my girlfriend, which, as Obatala... Yeah, shout out to my fiance now. My fiance, Andrea Talley. She's a startup, a founder. She owns Green Lid. It's a green smoothie company, and they're located in the city. It's a little cheap plug there, but really she was the catalyst for me moving out here because I was working for a very small website in the Washington D.C. area at the time, and I'd been there for about a year, and she was like, "Okay, I'm moving out to the Bay to start my green smoothie company," because obviously, like, healthy green smoothies, San Francisco market go hand in hand, so this is where she wanted to be. And I just kind of took a little leap of faith. Really, I didn't even take a leap of faith. I was like, all right, I'm giving myself a month to find something in the Bay. I sent out a bunch of resumes one night. A week later, I started getting like responses in my inbox because I was in a bit of a specialized field at the time, right? I'm in the online video advertising, so the fact that I knew what like an advertising pre-roll was and how to calculate CPMs and how to maintain good fill rates. These are just buzzwords that just killed it in my resume. So I landed an opportunity at a company called Tube Mobile. Tube Mobile was awesome, really great like technology environment because it was like startup-y enough where I could like really be nimble and say I want to get my hands into this opportunity and dive in like without no restrictions because nobody else was doing it at the time. So I got an opportunity. Really, I was there I got hired as an account manager. Within a year, I started my own department in the organization. Then had some really great opportunities to travel. And as I was growing within my career path, Tube Mobile was also just growing year over year, just breaking their numbers, and finally went public and expanding globally. I had the opportunity to travel abroad while I was there. I went to London, Australia, just all these different markets, and it was great. And so it was an inspiration for the show, really to just kind of like understand that while you could be inside of like a really like strong and powerful entity like Tube Mobile was, there was still this urge and this desire for me to do something like different or break out and do something independent. And I think that's a major theme that we play off of, is particularly in our pilot episode, is that idea that like you can have like this awesome security, job security, but still really want to break away and do something unique and different and on your own. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but you said that's something similar to, kind of meta, because it's something similar to what you're doing now, like in terms of, currently you have this position, but you're still doing this awesome thing outside of work. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about the backdrop. So this is a big love story, or big shout out to Oakland, right? And Obatala, you are from Oakland.
Yes,
can you talk about how you incorporate Oakland? Because I think when a lot of people hear about the Bay Area, and especially tech, they think San Francisco or the Silicon Valley. but to be talking about a tech startup or to create a story about a tech startup based in Oakland, tell us more about that.
That was really important to both Theo and myself. Like Theo, at the time was when he was at Two Mogul, he was working in the East Bay, and as we talked about it, I was like, "Yo, it has to be about Oakland. It has to be in Oakland." He was like, he agrees, and it's funny. Like we met with like an editor really early on in one of the first trailers, and he was like, "You guys don't mention San Francisco," and Theo and I both responded like, "Fuck San Francisco," and it was just like,
Shout out to all the San Francisco peeps.
Right.
I live in San Francisco.
Right. We love you.
Right. We love you. Whatever. Y'all family. So it's like it doesn't matter how much we dislike y'all, we still got y'all because y'all family. That's what the Frisco's like. Y'all the cousins we don't really like, but if you need us, call us. We'll be there. Anyway, so it's really important being from Oakland. Oakland's at a point where there's a lot of gentrification. There's a lot of changes, positive and negative, depending on how you look at them. So the original identity of the city that I grew up with, I felt like was also being lost, and I wanted to catch that. But I also wanted to catch this positive story of you have this city, Oakland, and you think of the last few projects coming out of Oakland, Licks and Fruitvale Station, both incredible films, but they deal with like a harsher, darker element of the city. And there's a lot of professionals here. There's a lot of artists here. There's a lot of culture here. There's a lot of love here. And I say this to a lot of people when they talk about how dangerous Oakland is. I go, every single day in Oakland, more people don't get shot than get shot. So it's like, yes, there's violence here, but in between that violence, there's a lot of love. There's families, there's schools, there's heartache, there's love. There's everything. There's dinner, there's the lake, there's the park, there's the festivals. And all that needs to be represented. And I didn't want the current narrative of Oakland to be, oh, it's hella dangerous, but if you're too poor for San Francisco, it might be perfect. And it just has more of an identity than that and more of a culture than that. And it was dope working with Theo because he agreed and we just rocked with that as a theme.
Yeah. No, I mean, so definitely, I'm from the East Coast, and my naive perspective when I came out here, and then I would say definitely, I've been out here for 6 years, but it's changed in terms of even the narrative in tech about Oakland has changed in the past 6 years. Because before it was like Oakland was like, oh, be careful, you don't want to be out there certain times, and that may still be true for certain locations, but definitely now Oakland is now becoming, or at least within the tech scene, Oakland is becoming the place to be. Like everyone is in Oakland. It's a different type of vibe and creativity that's happening out there. So what are some of the things that you've noticed you grew up in Oakland? Yeah. What has changed? What has changed greatly for you?
Well, man, a lot. Like one, of course, the first thing you're gonna know is the physical makeup of the city. There are just white people in places where there just weren't white people, and that's just a fact of the matter. Like like unless it was like you'd be downtown, there's a lot of downtown, and a lot of things didn't exist. Temescal area over there by Burma Superstar and everything, further down, uptown, that wasn't there. Half of the buildings over there. I remember when there used to be a post office on 56. I remember when, we're complaining right now because, a delicatessen is closing, it's moving out of that location. But I remember when it was down the street on right below 40th on like 38. So I remember when it moved into that location when they started building that Walgreens. And I don't know, like the city's definitely changing. A lot is different. The things that really hurt me are things that more so have to deal with the culture, and the culture has to do with loss in the people. Like when, I don't know if you heard the reports months ago, it may have even been a year ago, so this is an old issue, but there was a church that was receiving noise complaints, and there was like, the noise complaints were being taken seriously, and people were following through, and the police were following up, and it was just like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, that's city management, city government failing to protect culture. And this is a church. So if we can't defend the church, then we ran into the same problem with the African drum circles at the lake. You run into these things where people are just trying to come in and they want to change things. There was somebody who was complaining because they moved into a place that had a Sada Shakur on a mural, and they are under the belief that she's a criminal, and we in Oakland are under the belief that she's a hero, and she is a hero. So those cultural differences, where people come to your city and they're like, it needs to be my way, or you need to hear my voice, when it's like, you just got here. We don't need to hear shit from you.
So, definitely in the Bay Area, we talk a lot about gentrification, but we also talk about it from a binary perspective, right? Are there any positives that have come in from the changeover in culture of people moving and shifting?
Oh, well, definitely. There's more jobs. Uber coming, that brings more jobs. Now, out top, these aren't all the jobs that we want. A lot of these jobs are going to be service-based jobs, but they're still providing work for some people who didn't have it. Certain neighborhoods get Oakland did have a rate of some indigenous home ownership. We may have wanted to see more people of color in that, but there are a lot of people who've been here for generations who are now being able to start building family fortunes while selling homes or having multiple properties. And that is good. That does, if they redo the house, that creates jobs, it puts money in the thing, taxes, yada, yada, yada. So they're all benefits. There's more businesses. You'd like to think that, the tide rises. What is the phrase? When the tide rises all ships. And that's, I think, a lot of the fight for people was trying to make sure that tide rises all the ships and not just some of them. Because yes, there's been a lot of bad, there's been a lot of displacement, but there is good. There is beauty in places. As an Oakland native, I gotta say, at 31, it's a much more lively city than it's ever been. And so it's fun to not leave Oakland anymore to hang out. It used to thought you had to go to San Francisco. So there is give and take. A lot of the places coming into Oakland are hella dope, have great culture. They treat their employees great. They add to the city. And some don't, but hey, that's life. That's, that's how it is. So nothing's 100% bad. There are changes. I just wish, I'm really dragging on here, so I'm just going to say no, it's not 100% bad. There are good parts.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to Clouds in itself, and how did you come together and even gather the support of Oakland to make this film? I mean, there are definitely a lot of local talent featured in the series. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Or go ahead, Theo.
Theo.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Craigslist. That helped. We actually, I don't know. We got a couple of so we reached out online a lot. First off, we spent a lot of time just scripting, utilizing our friends, just really kind of having them bounce scripts off of them, get their feedback as we tightened up our pilot episode. After that, it was just, I think everybody that we've met has had some kind of excitement about it whenever we've told them about the project, and everybody's contributed in their own way. We did reach out on Craigslist for our director of photography. We said if we were going to pay anything for this project, we wanted to pay for a dope director of photography and a dope audio guy. So we reached out to Craigslist, and the folks we found were ultimate professionals, but the types of professionals that are you know what, I don't need the dough, but I'm still going to be on Craigslist, and I'm just looking for cool scripts. And so that's how we landed our crew for the most part. Cast, our lead actor Josh. Actually, Josh heard about us through one of Obatala's childhood friends, Leon. Leon's the mayor, one of the mayors of Oakland, and he just put out his bat signal, and a lot of people were notified about that. My previous employer, Tube Mogul, let us use their office for casting. Actually, they let us use their office for casting. They let us use their office for shooting. So my colleagues were super cool and supportive of the project. Even some of them acted in it. And then from there, now we're at this point where we're like ready to have the screening. We've been talking about it for like 2 years now as we've been developing this concept, and we're still, mind you, a ways away from the ultimate goal is to produce the entire series. But right now we've got this awesome pilot together, and I've been reaching out to businesses in Oakland, letting them know about the screening, asking them if they can support in any way, and we've landed some really awesome partnerships. We're gonna be giving away some prizes at our screening from Oaklandish, from Soul Space, from some other companies as well. We're gonna be having a pre-screening happy hour with Crooked City Cider in downtown Oakland. So I reached out, and the community was just, I think that's a part of what it makes Oakland so great, was that it wasn't really like hard to get the community on board for a project like that. I don't know if you can say that of a lot of communities, right? It's because they call it the town because it's a city, it's got its namesake, but it's really like a town. And I feel like you see people that and they're just totally down. Oh yeah, I know such and such from around the way. Like, cool, I'm supporting what you're doing. Let me know how you can help. And that was really like the attitude we got from so many folks that got on board for the project in Oakland.
Cool. So you mentioned the premiere. You want to give a little bit of some deets on the premiere that's coming up?
Yeah. So the premiere is Thursday, April 28th. That's this Thursday. We're going to be having the premiere in downtown Oakland. It's going to be from 7 to 9 at the New Parkway Theater. So you can actually, if you want to get advanced tickets to the screening, you can go to our website, cloudstheseries.com, and you can buy tickets there. Advanced tickets will get you access to our VIP screening that I mentioned, and we're going to be having the screening, we're going to have a Q&A, we're going to be giving out gifts. The screening starts at 7 o'clock, so you can check out the address, the details, all on cloudstheseries.com. Right on the homepage, there's a big button that says, go to the event. So check that out.
Cool. And then you mentioned a couple of times that this is kind of like a concept. So like the storylines are still evolving or developing. What's next for you guys? How are you developing that storyline? How are you going to push this forward?
We're going to do a record label, and then we're going to do a clothing line, and then we're going to come out with a mixtape for free. Then we're going to drop a movie like Beyonce, and it's going to be Arnold Palmer because it's going to be tea and lemonade. We're going to do all that. No, what's next? What's next is that as soon as this call ends, Theo's going to call me and ask me how much I wrote today. And if I don't say the certain amount of pages, he's going to beat me. So that's where we are now. Now we're writing the rest of the series out. Okay. We have a few episodes done already. So we have one episode completely shot, and we're premiering that on Thursday, sharing that with the world. And we're going to have a lot of subsequent screenings throughout the summer. We're already setting some up. So if you follow us on Instagram and keep up with our website or on Twitter, everything is Clouds the Series. And if you follow us, you can get. So if you can't make Thursday, you can definitely make another screening.
Right. So we're going to. Go ahead. Oh.
No, you go ahead.
Sorry. So yeah, I was going to say we're definitely continuing, as Obatala mentioned, to continue to screen the pilot. We're not going to release it online yet. And we're also going to be producing a lot of shorts that you guys will be able to check on our websites, updating our blog, updating our social media. And really, at this point, as Obatala mentioned, like scripts are, they are living documents, right? So we're always tightening that up, the storylines. We're always getting more feedback and just tightening it up. But we're really looking for partnerships as well. So this is like, I think this is the biggest kind of thing that we've taken from the technology world. Is just really kind of like, like a soft launch and the pitch, right? And the tweaking and enhancing the product. Like that's what we're trying to do with Clouds right now, right? We didn't want to come out of the gate with the full product. We're always trying to get more feedback. We're always trying to tighten it, and we're really looking for somebody to get us to the next level to help us partner with and produce the entire series. So, we have all of the assets in place, and we're just going to be doing a lot of pitching, hopefully reaching out to markets in LA, reaching out to companies in New York, and seeing who's going to be able to help us bring the entire series into fruition.
So you talked a little bit, and that, I think that's really key because it seems like you guys are doing kind of like a lean startup approach to creating a series, right? Where there's like this whole loop of like a build, measure, learn. So what does that look like from a practical perspective in making a film series? How do you go out there and get feedback? What is that, and how do you incorporate that?
Well, there's multiple ways, and there's multiple stages of feedback. Mm-hmm. So when you're writing a script, you have people come over and you do like a read-through. So we had about a year ago, we had people come over. I cooked, and we ate. I've cooked for you too, and then we read through the script. So everyone was assigned a character, read through the script as a group, and then we just take feedback. And then we listen, and we keep the advice we want, put some away, and some just doesn't fit at that time, and that's just how you go. So that's how you do it for like the script. When it was like the actual viewing sessions, we kept it sort of kind of intimate, where we wouldn't have like 5 or 10 friends. Like Theo would show his fiance, I would show like a friend here and there, and the whole point was, one, to any filmmakers or coming out, anyone who works in video, you cannot show unedited footage to people who don't edit. They won't be able to see it, and you won't get any positive feedback. So you have to go through people who understand the editing as a process. That's definitely a thing for like critiques on videos. But it really was just really communal. Just, like, I'm sure like you would be in tech, you have somebody, hey, look at this design. Hey, look at this code. Hey, look at this. Just look over for it. So it was, it's just very much like that. Just very inner circle. Like the people who've already seen the episode are like our closest friends, and then the rest of the world will see it on Thursday.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there's a similar process when you're even just building like a landing page for a new product or a new feature. You might show it to certain people and ask them if they understand or if they get the concept based on the content alone or the copy on the page. But it's essentially, if you show that to someone who's not familiar with the process, they might start commenting on design, like, is that the right color purple? Or,
exactly.
Who made that blue instead of purple?
Exactly. And you're like, no, you're here to give concept notes, and you're asking me about like, oh, well, the sound's a little different. Yeah, what did you think rough cut meant? So, yes, it's exactly like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So right now, I mean, is what's really heavy out here is like, I mean, I know we have the backdrop of Oakland that's being featured in the film. Will there be any backdrop of some of the media stories that are being picked up about underrepresented minorities in tech? I don't know. I mean, that's pretty heavy. I don't know if that's something that you are including.
I mean, so yes, definitely. I think that we call this kind of like a dramatic comedy at times, right? Like this is still a character that's like dealing with like the breakup of an engagement. This is a black character living inside of a city that's going through a lot of changes right now, and absolutely that would be the intention, is to attack a lot of different issues. We don't want to give any of the trade secrets or ideas away, but we definitely want to tackle gentrification. We definitely want to tackle over-policing. Honestly, we want to tackle miscegenation. A lot of gender issues as well. Like right now, we've really been focused on the pilot episode, and that features more so our lead character Josh Neal. But really, we're trying to balance out the show. We have his ex-fiance who's going to be doing her own unique startup as well. So
competition.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like kind of the other half of the show that we haven't really featured yet, but we definitely want to highlight definitely some gender issues as well. So yes, that's in the pipeline.
Yeah, I feel like Clouds, like on another thing, where we have central main characters, there will definitely be episodes and elements where we try to make the city itself a character. So then you got to go through what the city's going through. Like, we're definitely going to find original and creative ways to explore the city's history, the richness of its roots, to explore the changes of gentrification, good and bad, and to make sort of like a time capsule for this time in Oakland. A lot of times we get caught up in what people do, but we don't understand where they do it and how where you do something can create a whole nother set of resources or insight. And that's what Oakland has been for us, and that's what Oakland will be for the characters in the show. Because that's what Oakland is. Oakland's always been a hotbed of change and innovation and culture, and you can trace so many great artists across multiple mediums to Oakland. And it's just been a city that's just been refused to go with the flow, that's done its own thing, and that's how it's going to remain.
'Cause are there any entrepreneurs or startups that you follow that you draw inspiration from?
Jay-Z.
I mean, yo, and that's the thing. Honestly, I would say that we probably draw more inspiration from musicians. I would say, like, in kind of their approach. Like, I think that like a Malcolm could be like a Pharrell, you know. Yeah, like there aren't a lot of tech entrepreneurs right now that I would definitely model this character off of, but I would say that there probably are, yeah, some more musicians. And that's the thing about the show, right? Like, so we come from like tech light backgrounds, right? I work in technology, right? But I don't code by any means, right? I talk to our product managers and I talk to our engineers and I try to like take the things they say and convert it into like normal speak, you know what I mean? But I'm not necessarily like an engineer by any means. But I'm around them.
You're the translator. You're the translator for the engineers.
Exactly. So that we want to make technology kind of approachable, right? We're doing our research. We're hanging out with these engineers. We're really learning the language. But this is a show that's about technology, but we want it to be approachable by people that aren't in technology. And that's why, like, not only do we focus on the idea of technology, but it's under this cloud of romance and of music, right? Music is a big theme throughout it. So I would say that probably a lot more of the entrepreneurs that we're going to be really taking cues from aren't necessarily in the tech world specifically, What about you, Obatala? What do you think?
No, yeah, I can't. Well, one, I just gotta just admit to ignorance, not knowing a lot about the tech world. First, secondly, I agree with that. With the thing that the thing I said, like Jay-Z, because like I'm a big Jay-Z fan, but even the whole thing of Rockefeller Records, like if I said that was more than
and you're saying this on the aftermath of Lemonade being released this week.
I'm saying this on the aftermath of because we don't. Lemonade could just be a genius marketing ploy. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. We don't know anything. All right, I will not. You will not besmirch his name. No, but like this inspired, and then also not only just like that, but both of my parents were entrepreneurs. My mother started her own school. My father continues to work for himself as an environmental consultant. I continue to be a moderate to decent employee, and it's just like I need to work for myself. I need to build my own, and I am inspired by anybody in that vein who is trying to produce something of quality, create ownership, and keep authenticity. And it's been great working with Theo for that time, because it's been 2 years and it's been a lot of ups and downs, and life happens. All types of life happens, but we've stayed at it. We've stayed at it, and we now have a product, and we now can show our vision with the world, and now it's more than just an idea. Now we have a product. So in the tech-like way, we have a product that we're presenting. So it's so much like, how they have the big, I don't want to call them festivals, But when the startups get together and they pitch and they all compete.
A conference? A tech conference?
A tech conference.
Wow, man.
Festival.
Not that far away from San Francisco. That's not even a technology specific word. Teachers have conferences.
I really just, all I could think of was festival. I was like, oh, they're all happy and, you know.
With the people and they stand around and there's booths.
Right. But no, so in that vein, like we have a product, we're bringing it to the market, we're bringing it to the people, using their excitement to help get people to partner with us to produce and distribute the remainder of the series. So there is a tech-like approach in unconventional business model. Normally, you just write a script and you mail it 100 times to LA and pray somebody calls you, or you have somebody important and you hand it to them, or you have an inside, you know.
All right, so when people sit down and they're watching, when they're going to come out to watch your premiere, what is the one thing, or when people actually start to engage in the series when it's produced and distributed, what is the one thing, or what is one thing that you hope that they take away from watching your creation or watching this project?
Oh, wow. I think the most important thing to me is that they understand the role that technology plays in romance nowadays. That's actually like one thing that we haven't really talked about a lot, but I think that that's something that's important to me. I actually just finished reading a really awesome book called it's called Modern Romance, and it's by Aziz Ansari, of all people. And it's a really insightful book, you know, and it goes through just things like, you know, like from meeting a person and how you engage in that interaction via text, online dating, and how
people don't. I hear people don't talk on the phone anymore. Like when they used to be on the phone all late, booed up. People don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
this is a Google Hangout, and I cannot think, besides my mother, a woman I've been on the phone with longer in the past 4 months than you right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm never on the phone.
Yeah, people. I mean, but you know, like I think it's just kind of a really interesting time for romance. You know, and just how we interact. And I think that was something that we really wanted to explore. We thought would be fun. There's a lot of text messaging back and forth through it. And you know, like, and just the unique way that we go about introducing people, right? There's 1,000,001 different algorithms personality matching algorithms nowadays. So we really wanted to just focus on like music. What if you could find the person you bang with because you guys have the same music personality or taste, you know? And we wanted to just explore that. So yeah, I think it'll be cool if people you know, open up to the ideas of incorporating technology into their relationships more, and you know, just kind of understand that we're like in a new world, and it's okay if your 13-year-old is always texting.
All right, look at the siren.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, y'all good. Obatala, what do you think? What do you think?
I really hope that people use clouds as an opportunity to come closer to Jesus.
I can't with you, okay?
I'm sorry.
I cannot with you.
You know, there's a lot of religious things, you know. Okay, in all seriousness, this is what I really hope, and this is a problem, not a problem, but when you create media as African Americans that's centered around African Americans or diverse people, there's this idea that, you know, you're fighting for normalcy. You know, you're fighting to produce work that's just human, to add to that human experience and not be a black film. And it's not like you're ashamed of being black or being a black film, but it's like, why am I not just a film? Like, I want to compete against the films. I don't want to compete against the black films. So in saying that little mini thing, I just want you to relate to characters. I just want to hope that Theo and I have painted a picture relatable, something that makes you laugh, something that makes you grimace, something that makes you cry, something that just makes you feel and be reminded of something that you've gone through, something your friends have gone through, or something that you may go through, or something that you hope for or hope that you never had. You know, Clouds is a story about two people following a dream, tired of working for other bosses, wanting to start their own company, also trying to find love, and then centering around that, around a love for music and a love for the city where they're from. And I feel like those four sentences attach to so many people across the world who are in love with their city and are in love with their music and are in love with their dreams. So that's what I want you to take. I want you to take that we all dream. We're all human. We all love. We all laugh. Let's just do it together. And especially when you're watching Clouds.
This is where you just like hang up, like your mic drop, like boom, and hang out on there.
I can go back to eating chicken in the kitchen.
All right, guys. So we have a few minutes left. Any shouts or wait. First of all, before we get to that part, what movies or what films have you drawn inspiration from? Anything that you've seen lately?
Yeah, I liked. Honestly, I don't know if he drew inspiration from it, but I kind of feel like it was something I was excited to see that came out right around the same time as we were developing this concept. It's called Dope. Cool movie. It's on Netflix right now too.
Yeah.
You know, actually, as we were writing this, I was mad because the lead character's name in it is Malcolm, and our lead character's name is Malcolm. So I was like, they just don't think that we stole. No. We came up at the same time. So yeah, that was a really cool movie. Also, you know, I like Friday. I can't speak enough about Friday. I wanted you know, something that was just it was kind of lighthearted, but maybe set inside of like some place that not necessarily is given the you know, given acknowledgement as being a lighthearted place, right? They're in you know, we're in Oakland, they were in LA, and it was just, you know, we're kind of trying to do a parallel kind of thing with that. So Friday's definitely something that gave me some inspiration.
Cool. How about you, Obatala?
Well, all those movies, Theo, Dope definitely influenced us. Friday was definitely something we talked about, but also, man, the great Eddie Murphy, man. We Coming to America. We did an homage scene to Coming to America in the trailer that we're going to revisit in episode 3. You know, just can I say another weird thing? Not a weird thing, another weird thing. I think that should be like my autobiography title. But as I write this and as I continue to write it, take a lot of inspiration from the show Girls, actually, on HBO.
Wow.
And it's not about subject matter or character, but one, it's about story structure. Their narrative structure is 100% unconventional, and it adheres to no rules. They jump time, and they jump space, and they jump story effortlessly, and you're able to follow, and I really think that's hella dope. It allows them to tell the story where they have, like, supposedly 4 main characters, even though we only really keep up with 1. But the way we keep up with the other 3 by little check-ins or a few episodes, like, structurally, and even some of the writing and the dialogue is really good. So I know, you know, the show gets a lot of flack for being hella fucking white, which in Brooklyn, which I get, and I'm not defending that. But I'm just saying those hella fucking white writers have a great sense of story structure and character development.
Cool. All right, guys. Any last minute shouts? How can those who are watching, even if they're in the Oakland area, they definitely can reach out and attend the premiere. But if they're not in the Bay Area, what's the best way people can support you guys?
Great question. So definitely please follow us, you know, for updates. We're going to be having a lot of videos online. We really, right now, I think the biggest thing that we want to try to sell is, you know, the excitement for the show and the backing. And we've met so many people that are excited to see a show like this. And we want to, you know, be able to show that to anybody that's interested in partnering with us. So please just follow us. If you are, if you're not in the Bay Area, you know, please check our website. We're going to hopefully be having some screenings in some other states as well, so you can keep up with that. We'll probably also put a button up on our website if you guys are interested in booking a screening with us. We really like to. We don't want to put this online right now because we like to engage in the dialogue around this story and tell it inside of those environments. So, and really kind of have a back and forth, talk about things like we talk about today. So we want to do as many in-person screenings as possible. Maybe at some point we'll release it online. That's TBD. Right now we're just really focused on the community live screening. So just check out our website for all the updates, or check out our Facebook, All Clouds the Series.
Cool. I think you guys should shop this around to some startups and have them premiere it for you. Like have them. They should invite you in their space and you guys should do premieres at different startups.
Yeah, I love it.
That's dope. Startups, if you're listening, we're here. We're down.
Holla at us.
Holla. We'll respond. We're not. We don't have any secretaries. We ain't bougie.
All right. Any last final words for the hangout?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Hadia. Shout out to HBCU Startup. Shout out to folks that attend HBCUs and the folks that don't.
Shout out to Howard for sending this entire graduating class to Oakland.
Yeah, right.
They really are. Yeah, like Oakland. Howard is just about to be Oakland.
The thing is, we're worried about these white people. Howard about to take over. There is no Oakland. This is Howard University West. This is Howard U West. Now we're the only HU.
You'll be everywhere. That's how you can go to Topeka, Kansas, and be like, where are all these Howard people coming from? Shout out to my Topeka, Kansas Howard folks.
All two of them were like, yeah. I lived in Kansas from when I was 3 to when I was 4, and I'm still bored.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun, and I thank you for your time. I wish if someone wants to send over a babysitter for me on Thursday night, then maybe I can sneak out and come to your premiere.
Well, you know what? We have actually, in being all part of the community, children are allowed at the screenings, but all we do is we rub a little bit of whiskey on their gums, And like, if you're comfortable with that, we're comfortable with having your child. So it's up to you, Whiskey has never killed an infant.
I'm sure it hasn't. I think, like my grandma said, put a little rum in the bottle. It'll be okay.
Exactly. See, you Jamaican, they know. They got the rum, yeah. Yo, what was that stuff you made? Remember, it was the carrot juice.
It was carrot juice with some rum. Yeah, I'll bring some over.
That's right. You're gonna have to find a babysitter. We're gonna have to hang out after the screening. Maybe we should take this offline.
All right, guys. You have a great evening, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thanks everybody who watched. We appreciate it. Check us out. Stick with us, and we promise to entertain and make you laugh and tell you a great story.
Bye.
Bye.